Okay, so tonight I'm going to do how does he/she feel about you. Pick a card. I was halfway through a shuffle and my video went off, so that's why you have a few cards here. How does he/she feel towards my channel viewer? So I was just saying that these cards have a very forceful energy in them, which means they're very passionate about you. But something about this person is frustrated. And you know, they're working hard at the moment, and that's a difficulty. There's some frustrations in their life. I feel they're having a hard time with something. How does he/she feel towards my channel viewer? There's a card under there. So their feelings are a bit bizarre at the moment. You know, it's like their passions for you are driving them crazy. That's what it says to me. And I feel like this person, for some viewers, is from overseas, so they're missing home. But you know, you really are the joy in their life. And your presence is dominating. Somebody who's a very abusive partner, abusive person in their life. So you bring them a sense of happiness in a time of frustration and weariness. They're tired of something. I feel it has to do with a partner. And you must be an escape for this person. That's what I'm picking up on. That you're this person's escape. And so that's why they're so passionate about you, because it's like you're the exact opposite of what they're used to, because they're used to a type of treatment and you represent the opposite of that treatment or the solution to it. How does he/she feel about my channel viewer? So it's a very toxic situation they're in. It's costing them money, so in some circumstances your person might be separated. And that, you know, it could be both ways. It could be that your person is also very aggressive in how they approach life. But it shows to me that it's really the female figure that brings out the worst in your person. So that's why they love you, because you're the healer in their life. You know, you represent love, peace, tranquility in an otherwise very tense situation. How does he / she feel about my channel viewer? And that card, yeah. Bring that one down, I think. So it says they're not getting much support. They're not getting much support, whatever predicament they're in. And it's caused quite a commotion. Yeah. I feel that this person is usually quite a good leader, but this situation they're in, you know, it could be a career situation. For some it's a career situation, for others it's a relationship situation, but I really feel that it's both. I feel that they are in a predicament both ways. And, you know, they didn't listen to their inner wisdom when they met this person and formed a relationship with them. I feel like they were just in a state of sadness about another connection with somebody, and so they formed a relationship with somebody who wasn't good for them. It must have been something of a very fast relationship connection. That's what I'm picking up on. Because this person always feels they have options. You know, they don't feel they're finding the love of their life. And so they just kind of install somebody who meets their needs. And one of those needs is their emotional self. But the challenge being that they meet their emotional needs with somebody that isn't very fit in that respect. And so I feel it has something to do with being emotionally inadequate, or something about them feels inadequate. And so it quickly turns into a situation. But you're the reason all of these relationships break up anyway. But the challenge is that they turn very bad when things go wrong for them in their emotional life. And it's hard to say how that translates, because they start acting out. And when they start acting out, it affects their career, it affects their emotional life, it affects their temperament, so it affects their mental health. And so things are going a bit askew for them because they're acting strange. They're up and down, they're tired. They're either tired or overly assertive in their personal affairs, or they go from one extreme to the other. So they can be very tranquil and then they'll act out, and it's confusing people, and so everybody thinks that there's something wrong with them. Even their partner, who isn't the best type of person, because it was just something that they kind of slapped together at the last minute, and who isn't exactly emotionally apt. Like, this person is not good for them, because then they appeal to their bad side. Doesn't get them. Broke up over their behaviour when their own behaviour wasn't great. So it's a little bit of hypocrisy. So yeah, they're in a pickle. They're in a pickle. Also, it's down to greed. It's something to do with greed. It's like this person they're with might have had something very appealing about them, which was, socially acceptable, something like that, peer acceptable, and they couldn't get enough of anything. There's a lot of things in their life where they just wanted more and more and more, and it's turned them a bit funny. But there's also somebody very dominant in their sphere, some ex. And I feel this ex, for some of you, could have a kid with them and complicates the situation, because this person steps in at opportune moments and tries to interfere in their life. So it's about choice for this person. How does he/she feel about you? Well, it's about choice. It's about getting their state of mind in a better space. And it's about being the person they aspire to be, being the leader they aspire to be, and not being somebody unpredictable. So you bring a type of balance into their life, a happiness, a balance. But at the moment, their life is in turmoil, I feel. I feel like they've bitten off more than they can chew. That's what it says to me. And they've left you in the lurch because of their emotional insecurities and the options they had out there in terms of emotional opportunity. And it's taken them on a very bumpy road. And so it's left them underconfident. And where they had to grow in confidence in relation to your connection, they've lost confidence. So I feel there's some gains here. There's a turnaround. There are some gains in your connection towards the end of this story. But at the moment, they're in a predicament. And you have to wait for them to get out of that predicament. I feel when they start to sense success again, then the X shows. Something reappears in their life which leads them back up the garden path. But because they have gone through something here, I feel that they can get themselves out of the situation they're in. I feel that they can gain control over the X, and I feel they can come forward to you with an offer. What would be the timing on this? You know, this is just it. The timing is just over a year because of the turmoil that has ensued. And that may not suit many of you, but it shows that because this person's brought a great deal of turmoil into their own life, and a sense of turmoil into yours, you do find your balance and your success from breaking free from this person, breaking free from their energy. So you have the opportunity in just over a year to get them back, or to take your own path. Because it seems to me they've been muddied and they've been dragging you along with them on their path, either emotionally or in the physical. And it's caused turmoil in both your lives. So I feel it's like a very dominant energy that is extremely passionate about you but can't let you go. And it's affected you in some way, whether you know it or not. It's affected you energetically. So there's healing here. There's a resolution. There's potential for reconciliation. And there's also potential for you to break away from this person for good. So that's the next step on your journey. Okay, so that was deck 1. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. See you next time. This is deck 2. How does he/she feel about you? Pick a card. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below. How does he/she feel about my channel viewer? It's the same card as before. I might reshuffle. It's picking up the same entity. How does he/she feel about my channel viewer? 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 So he simply has a choice to make between two people. He wants to be able to break up with the person he's with, and he wants to be able to charge in. That's what it says to me very clearly. But he was with a really bad group of people before. And it's different to the first deck where there's just so much turmoil from the person's involvement in a bad crowd. But this one shows that this person's willing to heal. They're willing to move away from the person that's disrupted their connection to you and act a bit crazy and really come in and make it right. The thing that they're afraid of is that they'll be struck down by disappointment, sadness. Not so much, not only from moving away from a situation they were used to with a person, but potentially being rejected by you. So I feel it's a fight. It is a fight. There are some women still after your person. There's the ex, or the person they're about to break up with, and then there's another person that they developed a connection with. So it's about trying to find a balance in their life so that they can move forward with you. But this person was swamped with overactivity. You know, too much. They had too much on their plate. It's led to getting involved with friends who aren't good for them, particularly female friends. And that situation has led to an intergroup fight, which has led to a decision-making process on their part to move away from the person that brings them down and sends them crazy, makes them feel aggressive. And I feel it has to do with not having control of their own life or their situation, particularly with this person. This person is very attractive, but they don't have much grace about them. They don't have much sincerity or integrity about them, but they are attractive. And so I feel that this person they're not wanting to move away from is going to bring sadness to their existence, because it's like an energy that has to dissipate but hasn't fully dissipated, a very strong dominant energy. And as soon as your person moves away from that energy, they start to feel that breakage. They start to feel that disconnect. And I don't think they could escape this person easily. I really don't think they could do that. And so in some respect, the energy that has been placed upon your person by the ex or by the person they were involved with still exists, and it's going to cause them to feel a bit lost, a bit unhappy. But the saving grace here is you. Something about your energy keeps them propped up. Something about your energy keeps them strong. And I think what it is that you don't give up on them. You're a potential in their life. You're a potential in their life that is always there. that is a solid for them. Whereas the person they had before, or is still, working things out with, they weren't a solid for your person. They were attractive, but they weren't nice, and so there was like big fights, big commotion. You know how you become so frustrated with something, you go mad, that kind of thing. So your person would have behaved in a manner, which was, probably against their better judgment. And they're moving towards you because they want their strength back. They want their beauty back. It isn't easy for them. It won't be easy for them because of the type of energies that they got caught up in before, and quite a few habits have to leave their life that they formed before with the other person. But still, there's a sense of underconfidence here, but I feel that part of the challenge here is that you're looking back on what they potentially were without you, who they were with, and you're doubting this connection. And part of you wants to let it go, and another part of you wants to be the strength that they seek in you. But it's just reflective of the dominance of the energies that were around them in the past. It's not reflective of... You're realistic because you can see there can't be a lot of movement forward in love. If this person that you like is going to maintain the behaviors and the person, the type of person and people they were with before. But you still want to move forward. I feel you go through ups and downs, so you still want them. It goes through ebbs and it goes through flows for you. You want to keep this thing moving forward, but you're not sure how that translates in your life because of what happened before. But I feel if there's some type of physical gesture of theirs, it will make things better. It will make things better for you both. But see, there's enemies here. There are people that don't want to see your connection succeed. And so, even though their influence has been pushed down by your light, there are still obstacles. There's a jealous woman. There's a curious man. There's you and your doubt. There are aggressive situation, there's an aggressive situation around your person and an aggressive people potentially that also try to influence your person and their situation. But what holds the fort here is your beauty to this person, your resilience, your admiration of them, and your willingness to forgive their past. But they know they have hard work. They know they need to communicate with you more often. They know they have there are enemies, but they're ignoring those enemies. You tend to be facing them square. There's also people around them who wants to encourage them into things that aren't great, and they wants to encourage them into a behaviour which isn't kosher for you, not very kosher. You're like, you know, they want them to see other women. They want them to sleep around. They want them to be deceptive about their relationships. But these are very, and I can see these are people in their lives in some capacity. But it has something to do with their morals and not your person's morals in respect of you. In respect of you, your person wants beauty out of life, wants stability, and wants your guidance, and wants your forgiveness, and wants to work hard towards that. But there are people, however, people around who will jump up the opportunity to make them what they want to make them into. Whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether that's people in general. They want to make them how they see themselves. They want your person to be a reflection of what they are, which is a bit dirty, you know, a bit underhanded and aggressive and dishonest, you know. So it has a lot to do with opportunism. You know, your person is somebody who is always used because they're looked upon as having a trajectory in their life, however that translates, which appeals to a wider audience, you know. And with your doubt, if you doubt this person or continue to doubt your connection, you're aligning yourself with people who want to get the better of your person. So there are enemies, there are challenges. And you have to keep your confidence up, and your belief in this person has to be very solid for this to work out. If you don't keep those things solid and you don't keep your connection flowing and you decide to cut them off because that's the decision you're wondering whether you should make because they have habits which don't align with your lifestyle. And they have people around them which don't align with who and what you are. They will fall into the trap. And you have to prevent that. So it's about reaffirming your belief in this person, re-establishing the connection. And if you're out of contact, which it says you are, then you have to try to achieve that contact, achieve that connectedness, and keep believing in them. Because I feel there's a frustration in your person, like a rage. They really hate being controlled by these people. They really hate it. And that's where, because they feel they have to do what these people in their life do, whether it's a peer behaviour or a family influence or some other influence. Sometimes they feel they have to follow, and you tread your own path, and they admire that. That's why you're a dominant person in their lives, somebody they admire, somebody they want to be with, and somebody they want to move forward with. They're willing to fight for this connection, but you have to put your belief back into them, because if you don't do that, then the connection splits. The connection divides, and you won't be able to retrieve what you initially set out to achieve, and that was a passionate, solid, and gracious relationship, something compatible, something ultimately compatible. Because you know you're meant for one another, it's just that they've had complications in their life. Okay, so that was deck 2. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. See you next time.